Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey. It doesn't feel right. Okay, I'm just going to go straight to the point. Now we'll be discussing what music is in general. We are going to be asking the question, what is music? Now, music is actually the combination of sound, either vocal or instrumental, to make a harmony, all together with expressions that is pleasant to the ear. That's just the basic definition of music. Now, the vocals here are actually sounds that come out of your mouth. They're sounds that come out of your mouth, or even sounds that come out of animals. Those sounds, the cow moves, the cat meows and everything. So all those sounds that come out of animate objects are what we refer to as vocals. And then instrumentals are sounds that come out of man-made instruments, the trumpet, the saxophone, drums, piano, whatever it is. Those are instruments. Those are musical instruments. So it's the combination of sounds from vocals or instrumentals that produce harmony and are what's pleasant to the ear. Don't forget expression. So expression is part of it. Now, expression is actually how we communicate with our audience. First of all, you need to understand the song you are singing or you are playing. That will help you to get the right expression for the song. So if you are singing a song about love, you are going to express it. If you are singing a very sad song, maybe in a burial ceremony, you are going to express it. If it's a very happy song, you're going to express it as well, so that you show the audience actually what you are trying to pass across to them. Now I want you to understand that, see, if it's not music, it's actually noise. There's no in between, there's no fence. So if you are not making music, you are actually making noise. That's just the fact. Okay, so there are some elements that we have in music that actually make up this music thing we are talking about. Those elements include melody, sound, harmony, rhythm, and expression. So we have melody, sound, harmony, rhythm, and expression. Now let's take sound first. What is sound? Like I explained earlier on, sound is anything that can be heard with the ear. Now it's been produced by either animate objects or inanimate objects. Now you want to understand that the kind of sound the human ear can perceive is not the only sound that are actually around. Now if you have a dog at home, you will notice that the dog can actually pick sounds far away from the surrounding than you can pick sounds. So we have sounds that are below the normal human ear bandwidth. What do I mean by human ear bandwidth? Now the human ear can pick sounds from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So that's the bandwidth of the human ear. So anything below that, the human ear won't be able to pick it. Anything above that, the human ear won't be able to pick it. Take an elephant, for example. The elephant will make some rumbling and low-end sounds, very low sound that the human ear cannot hear. So if you are close to that animal, you won't be able to hear those sounds. They are very low. And then you have high-end sound, the ultrasound at the other end of the bandwidth, made by, say, the bat. There are some sounds that are very high that the bat makes that the human ear cannot hear. So those sounds do not really apply to what we are talking about today. The sounds that we are talking about are the ones that the human being can hear. So now there are some characteristics of sound. We have the pitch, we have intensity, we have duration, and we have timbre. Now when we talk about pitch refers to how high the musical sound is or how low the sound is. So a musical sound can be very high. Take for example, la 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 la, very high sound. The same pitch, the same sound rather, can be very low, la 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 la. That is what we call pitch. We are taking the same notes, but we are taking them at a high frequency and at a low frequency. So you have two different pitches. Now let's look at the second aspect of sound, and that is intensity. Now intensity has to do with the loudness or the softness of a musical sound. A musical sound can either be very loud or very soft. Some sounds can just be in between. For example, if you have a sound as soft as this, la 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 la, that's a very soft sound. You can have the same tonic sulfur, the same notes and everything to be very loud. La 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 la. That's a different intensity. Do you understand? So that's what we call intensity in music. Now the third aspect of sound I want us to consider is the duration. Now as the name implies, duration actually means time. How much of time is spent on a musical note? How much of time is spent on the song in general? How much of time is spent on the sound? Now if I do something like this, la, quite a long duration than this, la, that has a shorter duration. So to get these musical notes to sync to the duration we have in our head, we have to learn musical notes such as semi-breve, minim, crotchet. We'll go to that later. Okay, so let's talk about the fourth quality of sound, which is timbre. Now what is timbre? Timbre refers to the quality of sound a person produces or the quality of sound an instrument produces. Now if I take, for example, myself speaking to you, now you can hear my voice, and if you compare it to yours, it's quite different. Now take, for example, I'm playing a piano and I bring a saxophone beside me and we play the same musical note. You will notice that even if you are blindfolded, you can distinguish between the sound of the piano and the sound of the saxophone. That's because both of them produce different quality of sound, and that is why we included timbre in the properties of sound. Now let's go back to the elements of music. We've discussed sound. Now let's get to melody. Melody simply refers to that musical sound that gives the tune of a particular song or a particular rhyme or a particular piece of music. So the tune, say for example, I want to take the national anthem and I say pa da 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 da. That sound you just heard is the melody. That is the topmost tune of the musical piece. So if I'm going to take the tonic sulfur, I will have so do mi so. That is the tune of the song. That's the tune of the music, and that happens to be the melody. So the part that is usually taking the melody is the soprano part. So most of the time when you have a choral piece, the soprano part takes the melody. Number 3 is harmony. What is harmony? Now harmony refers to the blending of two or more parts to make a song or a piece of music or a sound. Now if I bring pa da 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 da, another person comes pa da 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 da. They are singing on the same key, but they happen to sing different parts. That's why you have the alto part, you have the tenor part, you have the bass, you have other parts of music. So when they come together and they sing in the same key but with different parts, you have what we call harmony. So that is basically what harmony is. You can have, that's why you have in the orchestra this violin, you have violin 1 playing maybe the melody of the song, you have violin 2 playing another part, you have the oboe or the woodwind playing different part of the music, you have the cello and the double bass playing the bass part and all. So everything combined together will give you harmony. So that's what harmony is. Let's go to rhythm. Now we have different types of rhythm. We have the duple rhythm, we have the triple, and we have the quadruple. So if I'm talking about duple, I'm talking about singing or playing in twos. So you're going to be doing something like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, just like that. So you're going to be singing in that rhythm. Now if you have triple, you're going to be doing something like 1 2 3 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So you are going to be singing in that rhythm, same as quadruple. That's the four rhythms time signature. So you have something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you are singing in that rhythm, and so that's how simple rhythm is. That's why you have different songs with different rhythm. All songs cannot have the same rhythm. Do you understand? Now let's go to expression. What is expression? Now expression has to do with how you interpret the song to those that are listening to you. Now imagine you are doing a happy song, maybe in a concert hall. You are supposed to express the happiness. You're supposed to show the audience that, look, this is a happy song, and so because I am performing a happy song, myself, I am happy. Do you understand? So that's what expression is. Now, to express that song properly, you have what we call dynamics. Now, dynamics has to do with how loud or how low the particular song is at a particular point in time. Now, if you are starting a song, you cannot just have the same pitch or the same intensity of the song from the beginning to the end. You're supposed to have variance in the intensity of the song. Now, the song can start very softly, and at the middle it becomes very loud. At the end, it becomes soft again. Or you can start from the beginning with a very loud intro. At the middle, it becomes very soft, and you end very loudly. So it depends on how you want to arrange your song. So dynamics has to do with the intensity of the music at significant points in time, at various points. Now let's get to tempo. What is tempo? Tempo has to do with the time, how fast the song is or how slow the song is. Now, if I'm singing, let me take the national anthem for example. You have Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey. It doesn't feel right. Yeah, because that tempo is too fast for that kind of song. It's an anthem. So it has to be at, say, a marching pace, a walking pace. So you have Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey. Fine. It sounds natural. It sounds more natural now because it's an anthem, and that's the way it should be. Do you understand? So tempo has to do with the time of a song, the timing of a song, how fast it is in time or how slow it is in time. Okay, so still speaking about expression, let's talk about the articulation part of it. Now, if you are going to articulate a particular song, you could do it in multiple ways. Now take a look at the Nigerian national anthem, for example. Once again, I can sing it legato, which means smoothly, or I can sing it staccato, which means short and detached. So let me sing it legato. So you have it like this. Arise, O compatriot. You can either do that with your instrument or with your voice. Now I've sang it legato, which means it was sung smoothly. Now if I take it staccato, I'll be doing something like this. Arise, O compatriot. So that's a different way of singing it. Now I've sang it in two different ways. You have multiple ways of singing. We are singing the same tonic solfa, we are singing the same notes, the same lyrics, the same melody line, but in a different articulated way. So that's about staccato. Now, if you have any questions from the videos I've been posting, please put it in the link down below. I'll really appreciate that. If you enjoy watching this content or this series of content, I want you to just like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's really important. It helps the algorithm. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next class. Bye for now.